Okay, so for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to talk about how industry adopt AI and how academic and literature adopt AI. So these are the two important things I want to talk about today. And also I'm going to talk about how we connect them together, like how we connect the industry and the literature together. So these are the three things I like to talk about in this short talk. So about the industry, there are two types of industry adoption right now. One is type 1. It's I call it the expense model. Another one is type 2. I call it the revenue model. So what is the expense model? So you look at this example, Vistra. Vistra is an energy company in Texas. So you look at their stock return in the past year, it's rocket high. The reason is because the Vistra, they are adopting AI to reduce their operational expense. So what's the message sending out is this is a traditional energy company. They are not doing new fancy stuff about AI. What they do is just using AI to lower the operational cost and boost the earnings, and that's why you can see the high rise in their stock price. And this is the Model 1 adoption in industry. They are not creating new business. They're just using AI to reduce the cost, to improve the efficiency. And the same as the industry in finance. So later on I will talk about how finance adopting AI in the industry during my visit with them. So I can show you guys they're using the same pattern. They're using AI to reduce the cost of operation, not doing like a new business or fancy stuff. So this is type 1. It's like expense model. The bottom line is industries are using AI to cut down their cost for traditional business, not creating new business. But look at type 2. Type 2 is a revenue model, and it's different. So AI is disrupting and generating new business. The example here is like GPU production, quantum computing, AI agent, self-driving car. These are the new business created by AI. They are not doing a traditional business by cutting the cost. They completely create a business to meet the demand from AI. And so you can see that they are not just they are not just reduce the expense. They are boosting the revenue from new business and new demand. So you can see the contrast of the two type of adoptions. The first one is stay in the traditional business, cutting the cost. The second one is stay in the new business and generate a new revenue. That's why I call the first one expense model, the second one revenue model. And the majority firms right now are in the type 1. I don't know if you guys are aware, this is the type 1, majority firms there. And there's a trend. People are moving from type 1 to type 2 in a slow piece, So what does industry do? And what does academic do? So let's look at academic research. So I started AI and Fintech research from 2014 and 15. About 10 years ago, I've been doing Fintech AI research. In the past 10 years, many good papers were written by excellent scholars. And I used to chair the Fintech conference with the Review of Financial Studies. And we received many submissions, almost like 450 submissions for the conference. And for the RFS, do submission on the topic of Fintech and AI. So once I review all these papers, it comes to me like most of the papers can fit in one of the three categories. So let's talk about one of the three categories so you guys know what kind of research people are doing right now. And it's amazing. There's so many AI and Fintech research. Even like 3-4 years ago, there are more and more people are doing Fintech AI research. It's definitely a growing area. So the type 1, we call it it's methodology model. So it's AI for existing research. So example, you guys can see that we're using AI to predict stock returns or using AI to predict restatement. So what does it mean is predict a stock return is a traditional question in asset pricing and investment. It's not a new question, but we can use AI as a new tool to provide new answers to the existing questions. So let's type 1 question, which means AI is used as a methodology, as a tool, not for your research question. So basically AI is used for calculating new variables or as a prediction model to answer some existing questions. And predicting returns, predicting restatement is an example. And the use case for AI in type 1 is they are used as a tool to calculate new variables And most of scholars are doing this because it's very comfortable. If you are doing asset pricing, you're just using AI as a tool. If you're using corporate finance, you're using AI as a tool. You don't have to step outside of your comfort zone. You just stay where you are and in your own domain and using AI as a tool. So most of scholars are in that area. So type 2 is also a lot of growing area in type 2, but it's a minority right now. So what does type 2 means? The AI is in the research question themselves. So example, you guys can see that in the finance company, how human would work with AI. So you guys see, I have a paper, you guys can check last year, 2 years ago at the GFE, we look at how the financial analyst should work with AI agent. Like how do they work together to complement each other, right? That's a question, that's a research question contains AI. And also, that paper also answers another question. As a senior executive, how do they give the job to AI? What kind of job they give to human? So the type 2 question is different type 1 because it's not just using AI as a tool, it's using AI as a research question. So you guys can see that these are the type 2 is not just using AI as a tool, it's a research question mode. What does it mean is the question contains AI. You have to address some AI questions which prompt by recent development of AI. Like I told you guys, how the financial analyst should work with AI agent. What kind of job financial analyst should do? What kind of job AI agent should do? And as a senior executive, what kind of task we should give it to agent? What kind of a job we should give to AI? So as an academic scholar, we write papers, right? So what's the job components for writing a paper? Idea generation, empirical execution, writing, and presentation. So what job we give to AI? I think idea generation, we have to keep it. If AI generate ideas, all paper will be the same, right? So human has to do the idea generation. Empirical execution, I feel in 10 years, AI will do for us. We don't need anyone to do empirical. And writing, I mean, we work with AI. We write, AI write, we polish with each other, do the iteration. Presentations, human has to do it, right? I mean, you don't have AI to do presentation. So you can see that for the academic job, we have 4 components. Some AI can do it, some human has to do it. Same for the finance industry. You have how to allocate the jobs. It's a very interesting question. No one has provided answers. The paper we wrote provides some preliminary answers, but there's many deep stuff we can dive into to figure out. So you guys, I hope you guys by now can see the difference between the type 1 and type 2. So type 1, the question is traditional question. You're using AI as a tool to answer the traditional question with new answers. The type 2 is the question themselves is AI. So it's not just using AI as a tool. So how AI affects labor market, how AI affects the finance industry, how AI affects our profession. All these are new questions, contains AI, prompted by AI. So the type 2, the difference of the distinguished point of type 2 is it still has AI component in the research question, while the type 1 doesn't have. The type 3 is policy making. So there's a lot of interesting stuff. Should the firm adopt AI? Well, how to adopt AI? Should the government regulate AI? How government regulate AI? So you guys see that there's a disagreement between the Europe leaders and the US leaders. You guys see that in the conference a couple of days ago. So one side want to regulate AI. One side think we should not kill the industry at a baby stage. So you guys can see that there's a lot of interesting going on the policy making about AI, either at the government level or at the firm level. So these are the 3 types of studies I have observed about fintech and AI. Type 1, majority of people are doing that because it's comfortable, accessible for most of scholars. You don't have to step out of your new zones. You just stay in your own area, just using AI enhance what you are doing. Type 2, kind of, it's a new area. It's developing new area. So it's a new theory, new phenomenon, new methodology. So type 2, it's a growing area and people are getting interested in. But it's kind of, you have to kind of step out of the comfort zone if you want to do the type 2. The type 3, it's very interesting. If the data is available, it's an interesting area to develop. So I'm going to give a little bit of review about literature, and you guys can see what has been done, what has been new. So when we talk about the fintech, like 9 years ago, 10 years ago, fintech started with blockchain, with decentralized finance. And most of the paper are fantastic theory paper, and look at optimization of the minings and also the structure of the blockchain. So these are the fintech research started with blockchain about 10 years ago. And a lot of business school has a new course in a fintech. So when things get involved, AI start to pick up in the recent years. And so what does AI, what people has done AI in academic research? I give a very one side of a roadmap to tell you guys some of the research has been well developed, some has been really new opportunities for students and faculties. So the relatively mature area is AI and asset pricing and investment. So you guys can see a lot of scholars, they have do a fantastic job in this area, how we apply AI for asset pricing, investment, and I don't have to name them, Brian Kelly, Dachin Shou, these are fantastic papers, you guys can check it out. And AI for lending market also is well developed as well, like AI for banks, AI for mortgage loans, AI for loan contract, AI for predicted bond pricing, like AI for the lending market, including bank, bond, and mortgage. These are well developed areas. So if you once you do the relatively mature area, AI and investment, AI and lending market, and AI and equity market, these are kind of relatively mature area. So what is new? What is something people hasn't done yet? What is emerging right now? I also want to share with you. The first one is so many paper has been done for public traded firms. There's very few AI paper has done for startups, private firms, entrepreneurship. So these are a relatively new area for people to look into. And I have been talking to some startup leaders. I mean, they have dilemma. They only have 10 people. If they're using AI, they have to assess the trade-off between the cost and benefit. For Microsoft, Meta, they do AI, no brainer. They all in. Because they have like 50,000 employees, they adopt AI, they reduce the cost, improve the efficiency, they create a new business. They have the benefit for both type 1 and type 2 industrial adoption I was talking about, right? Okay, for startups, like if you adopt AI, how much operational cost they can reduce? They only have 10 people. They have 10 people. Like if you adopt AI, like how many costs they can cut by adopting AI? And can they use AI to create a new business? Do you guys are still going back to the earlier comments? We have the type 1, type 2 industrial adoption, right? So for startups, like how much benefit they can get from cutting the cost, and how much benefit they can get from creating new business for AI. These are all interesting questions. And with available over the PitchBook data, not of private firm data, and we can answer the question, like how the entrepreneurship can benefit from AI. And also, so many studies has been done for institutional investors. These very, very few have been done, AI for household and retails. These are also very interesting area. As academia, I do have my family, right? I have my sisters, I have my relatives. They are retail investors, they are household. They don't know AI, and and they need help. And I did a presentations and investment companies, and I just feel they don't need my help. They can recruit CS PhD. They can recruit finance PhD. They have a resource to recruit the talents. They are smarter than me. They just don't need my help. But the retail investors, they don't have the resource, and they need the help. So how AI can help this marginalized group in the capital market? That's an interesting area, and there's very few study has done that. Right now, robot advisor is one literature on that, robot advisor, but we can do more than that. The third one is the emerging societal challenges. What does it mean is, we are facing so much societal challenges. So you look at the climate, right? We have a climate issue, we have a supply chain disruption, we have a cybersecurity, and then look at right now, we have a tariff going on, right? We have a Dodge trying to make the government more efficient. There's so many interesting and exciting societal challenges. AI sometimes can help you to provide answers or provide optimal solutions. So earlier I told you guys, we don't want our paper only read by referees or your advisors, right? We want our paper read by many people. So how can we make our paper be impactful? One thing you can do is to address societal challenging issues. Like challenge issues here, what I listed here, climate, right? cybersecurity, and many, right? The government efficiency, tariff. All these are societal challenging issues. AI can help us to provide answer, or at least the suggestions for what we should do. So these are just one slide summary of what has been done in AI, what has been new. And you can see that the mature area, asset pricing and the lending market, these are the mature area in finance and accounting, right? So mature area easily to adopt AI in the first stage. But so the household finance, entrepreneurship, and the society challenge, this kind of new area in finance as well. So you can see the pattern. The mature area adopt finance immediately, and the new area is getting to adopt AI in the literature. And then you can see the patterns, right? You can see that many study has been done for public traded firms, but few has been done for startups. Many papers has been done for hedge funds and mutual fund. Very few has done for the household. So these are the interesting area left for us to fill in the gap. But it's not easy. You got to think about interesting ideas, and you got to have some methodology and the data to address the questions. But at least I want to point out the directions. So it depends on what you want. You want a mature area, you have to make an incremental contribution to those the paper published in the area. You want a new area, it's easier to make a contribution, but you have a challenge for methodology and data. So you guys can see the trade-off between the two areas. And so people always ask me, why I'm so busy, Sean? Why you're so busy? So I'm telling you guys what I'm busy on for two things. So I feel there's two challenges in AI and fintech research. One is talent challenge. Another one is impact challenge. So what does talent challenge means? You know, even PhD students in Maryland, you know, I do feel like in the job market, there's a separation. One is someone know traditional finance well, but don't know AI a lot. But someone just completely computer science background and doesn't know finance. And I feel the domain in finance and accounting, what we need is the students who know like a lot of finance domain knowledge and the AI institutional tools. That's why I'm doing the PhD seminar, and I did the PhD seminars in many schools. And so what the purpose here is, I want people to study AI and the finance in a joint way. So right now, what we are studying is you learn Python separately, you learn finance separately. You have to integrate them together. So my objective is I put these two areas together. You guys can see how exactly AI can apply to finance. And I feel like it's easier for finance and accounting students because I feel like for me, I was a computer scientist for 7 years, for a long time, and I moved to finance, and I also do accounting research as well. So you can see that for me, transit from finance to accounting and finance is very costly. I have to do a PhD. I have to do a PhD at that. But if someone do not have a PhD in business, is a computer science PhD doing the finance study, it's a very high cost transition because you have to know all the domain knowledge in finance. It's easier for finance accounting because the technology barrier become easier and easier. 5 and 6 years ago, when I developed the model, we have to start from scratch. We have to do the neural network, convolution neural network from scratch. Right now, GPT, DeepSeek, right, Llama, all the model is well developed. You don't need to do the coding from scratch. You just use the model we introduced in the course, and you can get job done. So my point here is the requirement for technology is become easier and easier. There's so many pre-trained models, you can just use it. However, more difficult is how to get the idea, how to get the applied domain knowledge to the AI. So this is for PhD. I'm trying to teach. And for undergraduate, I don't have to teach. For the executive education, I don't have to teach. So I wrote a textbook about the AI for finance and accounting. And I'm talking about the textbook. Text is free. It's available for Amazon. It's available for my website. You guys can download. And just for PhD, I have the time to teach. But for the master and undergraduate, I don't have the time to teach. So I wrote a textbook with Wei Jiang and Li Jun, and we make it free for everyone. You can download, and the point is we don't overwhelm you guys with programming. We teach you guys the use case of AI in finance. Instead of give you guys all the Hugging Face code or TensorFlow code, we give you guys the domain knowledge and the use case first before we move to the programming. So this is one challenge about talents. What I can do is I teach PhD seminar, I help you guys. Some of you finish my course, you think AI is the way you want to do, and you spend more time. Some of you think AI is not your thing. That's good. Some of my students, they never do AI anymore after taking the course. That's good. You have so many options in your life. If you took my course and you find this is not your thing, focus on something else. That's value. I think I create more value by convincing you not doing AI. That's what I believe, okay? So this is a talent challenge. I do PhD, and I teach, I don't have time for master and executive education, so I do textbook. And what is the impact challenge? Impact challenge is how to make more people to read our paper. I do want the knowledge transfer between academia and the industry. And, and AI is an opportunity, because in AI and the fintech area, I see many collaboration between industry and AI. That's why I told you guys, if you want to write the impactful fintech and AI paper, it has to target academic audience as well as industry audience. So how do I make this happen? How do I do the impact and the knowledge transfer? So what I do is I try to write the good papers. Also, I raise money. I raise money from industry. I have a center at Maryland, and we can do the knowledge transfer between the industry and academia. So you guys can see, if you can have more information about the center, you can go my website to see. We do a lot of industry visit. We help industry to know more about academic research. I'm not just promoting my own research. I promote all finance accounting scholars research. I'm not just going to the industry saying, oh, this is my paper, you guys should read. No, I'm promoting your research. Everyone in the finance accounting, as long as the research is relevant, I'm promoting everyone's research for industry, so they will see the value of our academic research. This is what I'm doing. So just to curiosity, some of you guys, why I'm so busy. So this is I have done an overview about industry. I have done an overview about academia, and I have done, how do I connect the two? I want to spend the next of the 10 minutes to look at how exactly financial industry is doing AI. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I will close with some material you guys can follow up. So basically, by now you know how the industry adopt AI in general, and you know how academic research adopt AI. Now I'm going to focus on financial industry, particular financial industry. You can see what people are doing here and give you guys some idea. So you guys can see more of a report, the IOSCO report. It has this summary. They did a survey about the financial industry. And also I do a lot of industry visit with these investment company leaders. And they give you the feedback, what they adopt AI. So the summary here is the combination of the survey and my own observations. And you can see, if you want to go my website, you can see more of my discussion about this industry. So my website posts a lot of videos, and you guys go to my website to watch the video. Some of them is boring, but some of them is fun. I do have a kayak video on my website. I kayaked at Alaska. I have a meditation trip, and I did a kayak there. So interestingly, on my website, the most hit is not AI video. The most hit is my kayak video and the basketball video. But it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. Okay, so how financial industry adopting AI? There's 3 dimensions they are doing that. So client side, investment side, and operational side. So what does the client side means? For typical investment company, one objective is they want to attract more money. So how do they attract more money? The traditional way is they have the system called a CRM, Client Relationship Management. And then they have the salesperson representative to work with the CRM to attract the people who can invest in the investment company. That's the traditional way they are doing right now. AI is changing the dynamics. AI is helped to analyze the CRM system. And AI can tell the salesperson who you should call. Should you call Maryland pension? Should you call a California pension? Should you call some a foundation of the company? So basically, AI can help the investment company to identify which client will potentially pick up the phone call and potentially have a conversation with them and invest money with them. And also, AI can help to provide support service. Sometimes client has a lot of questions, right? What's your volatility? you know, the recent volatility in the stock market, you know, client definitely ask you, how is going, how are you going? Are you going to go bankrupt? So the AI can help retain the relationship by developing both. They can answer questions for clients. So one adoption for the financial industry is using AI to identify the new clients and also using AI to maintain client relationship using AI. That's what's happening right now in the industry. And they used to use CRM system, but they have the AI to help them to identify new clients. And the investment side is a very mature area. A lot of companies using AI to pick stocks, to select the investment. And also, they also do the risk management. Whenever you pick up stocks, they are not invested single stock. They have a portfolio. Does the newly picked stock will affect the risk of the whole portfolio? Or AI can help to do this as well. So you can see that AI can help to pick up stocks, and AI can help to manage the portfolio risk. That's on the investment side. And the operational side, you know, AI can help to reduce the back office function. They're using AI to do the reporting. There's a cost of reporting, right? They have AI for doing what? Doing accounting, right? For only investment companies, they have the accounting office. They have the, you know, the AI can help to reduce the cost in the back office by automate the financial reporting, budgeting, and the internal risk control, and also a lot of stuff. So this is what the financial industry is doing. They are using AI for identifying new clients. They are using AI to improve the investment operations. They are using AI for reduce the operational cost. So these are the three things. The second one is very mature right now. The investment side, AI using, the company using AI for investment side is mature. And the operational side is also, these are the two relatively mature area. So how SEC trying to regulate them? So this is the conversation from my talk with the SEC, ILSCO, the organization. So I give a talk there, and then we had a conversation. So the SEC want to have appropriate governance, but they are aware they cannot over-regulate. If they over-regulate, it will just kill AI adoption for the financial industry. So the one message, what I read is, they want to, it's difficult to see what's the right balance, what is the sweet spot of the governance, right? What is over governance? What is under governance? It's very difficult to tell. But one thing I think people agree on is to use right people. If you are using the right people doing the right AI, even we don't know how to regulate. As long as you make the talent right, you make the people right, pretty much you have a good governance. And also, they want to have a procedure. Like they want to have a robust, consistent procedure of using AI and testing AI. And they're also thinking about disclosure. Like should firm disclose their AI adoption. But this is controversial, right? Because if the investment company disclose too much, the competitors may copycat the strategy, right? So there's so much debate going on right now. I don't know what's the solution, but I just want you guys to know many interesting stuff we can study here. So how to do the right governance? We don't know the right answer, but using the right people is the starting point, and also have the right procedure is the right starting point. And do we need them to disclose, be transparent about the AI adoption? I mean, there's a debate on this. So these are the stuff you guys can think about. And I want to give you guys a typical example of how middle-sized investment companies are doing AI right now. So this is the 4 steps of a middle-sized investment company are doing. Now, step 1 is they pick up stocks. We call it positive screening. Many of them already using AI to pick up stocks. Okay, step 2 is negative screening. What does it mean is once the stock is picked, they want to do the analysis to make sure this is a good stocks. They should invest. So it's called a negative screening. So what they do is they want to identify the red flag of the stocks recommended in step 1. And the human will do that. Fundamental team will do that. So what the step 3 is, once the stock is okay, so step 1, you pick up the stock. Let's say step 1, you pick up 10 stocks. Step 2, you find that 8 stocks is not good. You only keep 2 stocks. So 2 stocks will move to the step 3. And step 3, once you add the 2 stocks into the portfolio, you will change the whole risk of the portfolio. So they have to do the risk control for adding the 2 new stocks. And step 4 is you have to minimize the transaction, microstructure, right? Microstructure study, minimize the transaction. So these are the 4 steps of the investment companies are doing. And so how is AI changing the procedure of this? So people are changing this a lot on step 2 and step 3. So what does it mean is, so step 1, the many companies already using AI. They're using AI to pick up stocks, right? But once the AI recommend the stocks, it's still human are doing the gatekeeping. Human identify red flags of the AI recommendations, and human is doing the risk control. So the step 2 and step 3 right now, a lot of human involvement right now. Human is due to judge whether AI is right or not. Human is judge the risk is correct or not, right? But the time is changing. So the step 2 and step 3, we have more of AI developed in the step 2 and step 3. So why is that? Because in the earlier stage, in the step 2, we have a lot of the notes from this fundamental analyst. The fundamental analyst, they wrote the notes, how to identify red flag, how to identify the risk. The human wrote many, many notes about how to gatekeeping AI. And same as a step 3, human wrote a lot of notes, how to do the risk control by adding the new stocks. With these notes, we can retrain our LLM. And once we retrain LLM, and we don't need many humans to do that, because we will have AI act like a human, act like the notes they wrote down. So with this training sample, we can have a less fundamental team, but doing much better job and a more large-scale job. Same as the risk control team. The risk control team, they have the notes. They have the notes in the past 20 years. They have notes how to do the risk control, how to analyze the risk by adding the new stock into the portfolio. With these notes, we can use large language model to train the notes, and then we can replicate the intelligence of identified risk. So the idea here is the step 2 and step 1. Before, we cannot do much. Before, we cannot do much. But why we can change the game right now? Because we have the training sample from these human analysts, from these human agents. The human provide their thinking process of the procedure of identifying new risk, and the procedure of identifying red flag, the procedure of gatekeeping the AI errors. With these notes, we can train AI. And once we train AI, we can use that to make the step 2 and step 3 in an automatic way. So that's what's happening right now. So you can see that the labor, we have less people required. We can reduce the labor to 1 or 2 people. And the business expansion, like before, if you want to expand the fund, you have to hire more people, right? You don't need, because AI can deal with large scale. Some of you may be wondering, why we still need 1 people? You can see on the screen, I show team size 1 people. Why just not 0? Why just completely, just make it like all team go away? Why still need 1 people? So this is something I don't know. There's 2 potential conjecture. One is, no, we need 1 people, maybe should supervise AI. This is maybe super smart people, know better than AI. Maybe that's the answer. Or there's 1 joke on the internet, maybe you know, AI can do everything for you, but AI cannot go jail for you. So maybe people are doing here is accountability. You need 1 people to take the fall. Maybe that's the reason, but we don't know. We don't know why we still need 1 people or 2 people. Maybe it's because you need someone to take accountability and reliability, or just because the 1 people is smarter than AI. That part we have to find out. And so what else we have? Like why it's become so powerful? One thing we talk about on my other lecture is we have a pre-trained model. Because the pre-trained model help us to achieve these goals. Without this pre-trained goals, so what makes this happen today? With 2 important elements happen today. One is we have the notes of the analyst. Once we have the notes of analyst, we can make this happen. Another one is the pre-trained model. Without the pre-trained model, you cannot do it because it's too costly to do that. So with the pre-trained model and the notes, we can make this happen. And what's the pre-trained model? GPT, DeepSeek, Llama. These are all pre-trained model you can do. So what else? What's other industry implications? I'll give you guys 2 more applications. You guys can see the idea. So another thing is the people using AI to identify potential clients. So how they can identify potential clients? The same idea. In the past years, the sales team, they have the notes. How do they successfully identify new clients? How do they fail to identify clients? They have the notes about the success, notes about the failure. With these notes, we can train the large language model so AI can help to identify new clients and in a successful way. So again, You see the same idea. So why AI can help us to identify new clients? Because we have the sales team in the past 30 years, 40 years, they have the notes. They will note down, I made 100 calls. 10 people replied, pick up. Out of 10, 1 become our new customer. And why the 2 become our new customer? Because blah, blah, blah. They wrote the procedure, they wrote the reason. And this sample is a training sample. Once the large language model trained on this, the AI will understand how to pick up the new clients and how to avoid failure cases. So these are the stuff, the application of AI as well. And the budgeting, right? So you know the university have a budgeting. How much money we should give to business school? How much money we should give to computer science? So the budgeting is important for corporate as well. So same idea here. They have the notes of the historical budgeting. And by analyzing the budgeting, they know, okay, it was successful budgeting. It was a failure budgeting. So by analyzing the budgeting notes, AI can help the manager to allocate how much money allocate to R&D, how much money allocate to sales, how many allocate money to marketing. Because the notes they created previously about the budgeting, the AI can learn about it. The AI can learn about the success case and also can learn about failure case. So you guys can see that there's many things going on because we have human intelligence create all the notes, all the material, and AI can learn from the material. AI can learn the material from identifying new clients. AI can learn material from the budgeting. Once they learn from the budgeting notes, AI can identify what it can help you to allocate money for the next year. So there's many interesting studies going on, and we'll talk about many of that. But what's the stuff, like a bottom line, what you should be cautious about? I think one thing about the privacy. So when I say privacy is, if it's GPT, it's a closed-ended model, so you have to, everything you upload to GPT, you don't know whether they're using the data. So the GPT, the closed source model has the privacy issue. But the open source model, like a Llama, like an open source model, doesn't have that because you can locally use it. So you can use the model on your local cluster, and you can process everything in the local way. So the privacy issue is a debate right now. So GPT has a relatively better performance, but with the data privacy, anything you give to GPT, you don't know what's happening. But for the open source model, you can download on your own computer, you can use it, it's safe. So, and also for finance and accounting scholars, one thing you should do is, you always remember you need to fine tune the model. Because GPT is for everyone. Llama is for everyone. DeepSeek is for everyone. We have to do is, we have to fine tune the model using our own data, using our own research question. And I have other videos teach you guys how to fine tune. I have a whole video teach you guys how to fine tune. So these are the two important points. You have to care about the privacy issue. For most of scholars, I mean, no one reads our paper, so that's fine. We don't have the privacy issue. But for companies, you know, this is an important issue. But for the fine tune, I do encourage you guys not just using the existing model, because everybody is using the same model. You got to fine tune it to some degree. And you have a video teach you guys how to change the model to be specific to your research question and to your domain. And I want to share you guys, you know, sometimes I go to industry, I ask them, do you professionals read our paper? And some of them say they don't read our academic papers. So I told them, you know, our paper is free. And we do many rigorous tests for our academic research. And most of the industry, if they take on a project, they have to see the return in 1 year. If they don't see the return in 1 year, most of the, you know, the project will get killed. But we take 5 years to finish a paper. You know, average JFE paper, more than 5 years. I heard 10 years, 15 years. So we take the long-term risk. We do the rigorous test. We make it free. Why they are not reading our paper? So I always ask the questions. That's why some of people maybe don't invite me anymore. So this is some, but they give me good feedback. One is too many free papers. They don't know which one is relevant, which is not relevant. So this is one thing. Another one is the screening cost. So we want to reduce the screening cost. That's one thing. Another one is we focus on different things. Academia focus on curiosity-driven questions. The industry focus on client-driven questions. So if you guys look at my GFE paper, what we do is we have 3 questions in the paper. The first paper is how we can develop the AI to beat human analysts. and we have 1% monthly alpha. And that, the number one question, industry like it very much. Okay, what's our second and third question is, we beat 55% of human analysts. There's a 45 human analysts surviving. So what skills made these analysts surviving? We want to answer the questions, what's the incremental skills for human to have to survive in the age of AI? That's the second question and third question. So you can see that out of three questions, the first question is a client-driven question, because using our AI, we can generate a profit trading strategies. That's a client-driven question. Industry like it. But for second and third questions, we answer a question like how we can make our students survive in the age of AI, how we can make the finance industry survive in the age of AI, how we make a financial analyst to have the skills to survive in the age of AI. So these questions are curiosity-driven questions. It's more interesting to academic scholars. The point here is, if we really want to have audience from both academic scholars and industry scholars, we have to have a paper including both interests. We have to, we have to have a paper, have a component for industry and component for academia as well. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. I don't have a solution, but I just give you an example. I just give you my observations here. And also language is different. You know, in academia, they just use Sharpe ratio. And we use the word risk-adjusted return. And every time they're confused, what is risk-adjusted return? What do you mean by risk? What do you mean by adjust? So they just use the Sharpe ratio. So you can see that these are the reasons, some of why they don't read our paper. But we can do something, right? When we have too many free papers, you know, we can reduce the screening cost. I mean, the AI center I created in Maryland, one objective is doing that. And also, we want to have a paper which have a component for industry and a component for academia. We have a both. Because if you write the paper, if it's just only for target for all, academia, yeah, of course, you can publish, but you lose the audience. But if you just write the paper for industry, you only publish a practitioner general. So can we have a paper have a both? That's something, right? Also language, right? Language also, can we use the plain language? So, so you guys can see that. So what I'm doing right now is I want to reduce the screening cost. So I'm doing more workshops, you know, with industry visits and blah, blah, blah. And I help industry projects. So basically what I want is I want to knowledge transfer from academic research to industry applications. That's all I want. I think that's not just what I want. That's all finance scholars want. That's all accounting scholars want. Because you spend 5 years, you want more people to read your paper. And then you know, what we can do is, you know, we have to do more travels. We have to do more workshops. And we have to help them to take on risky projects. And also, I feel writing is also very important. We have to do accessible writing. When I do accessible writing is, we use the writing, like I really like executive summaries. Executive summaries is an abstract for industries. Write everything in plain English. So, so my center is helping with all this knowledge transfer, you know, to facilitate more trips and also to help the scholars to reach out to industries. So this is the textbook I want to share with you guys, and I will talk more about this. And this is the end of this talk. And so we wrote a textbook with Wei Jiang and Li Jun. And so what's this AI textbook different from other AI textbook? If you look at any AI textbook right now, they start with Python, TensorFlow, Hugging Face. We are different. We start from data. We teach you guys how to analyze annual report, how to analyze conference call, how to analyze press release. And what's the question? What's the contents you can get from data? What's the question you can get from data? And then we move into the coding and a large language model. So we show you guys the domain data first. We show you guys the use case first, and then we go to the programming. That's the difference between this textbook and other AI textbook. And if you guys download from my website, it's free. It's free. If you guys want to use Kindle, it's $1.99. If you guys want to use the hard copy, it's $7.99. I mean, depends on what you guys want. It depends on what you want. So if you guys want a free version, download from my website. If you want a Kindle, $1.99. Otherwise, $7.99. I just want to make it guys clear. Wei Jiang and Li Jun, we want to make everything free for you guys. The $1.99 is the minimum price we can set. We want to make it zero, but it's impossible. So we don't get any profit from it. So And one thing is, we only have 5 reviewers write the comments. We have more reviewers write comments. You don't have to write good reviews. You can write harsh reviews. We just want more people to write the reviews. And Amazon is control fake reviews. So if you just write good, excellent, sometimes they just block it. So I mean, this is something we have to think about, right? If you really like the paper or hate the paper, please write like some reviews. I would love to hear by the feedback. I know it's 5 star, 5 out of 5, right? But I love to see the, if you don't like the paper, if I see the number goes down, that's fine with me. I just want to see more people give feedback. So we introduce many, many data. We introduce the conference call, social media, press release, and I have videos to introduce each chapter. So if you guys like jogging, like hiking, you just listen to my video. Once you finish hiking, you finish the book. So basically, and we have a coding about how to crawl the website, how to parsing, how to use GPT. And so basically, the textbook structured differently. We start from data, and then we teach you guys large language model. And then you can use the large language model and the data to do some use case analysis. So you can see we introduce annual report, right? We introduce annual report. And also we introduce like a press release, how to get a debt contract, how to get a supply chain contract. These are the data we introduce in the textbook. And so you can see that this is one example I want to share with you guys. So let's say your job is to identify all new product launch or for all US public firms in 2024. So we have 6,000 US companies, so around 6,000. So if you want to get all new product launch for the 6,000 company, for traditional finance students, what do? They will go to each website, manually copy paste, get new product. You are talking about 3 months time, okay? That's not good, Okay, so what would the computer science student will do? The computer science student will develop the crawler for 6,000 websites. So basically the way it works here is you don't have the one crawler for all websites. Each website, you have to develop a crawler. So for Amazon, you have to develop Amazon crawler. For Microsoft, you have to develop Microsoft. So you have to develop 6,000 crawler to crawl the website. For computer science students, it takes 1 month, right? So you can see that, so traditional finance takes 3 months, computer science takes 1 month, but students from this course, 1 day, you get the job done. Why is that? The reason is because you have to understand the data first. So if you want to get a new product, you don't want to crawl 6,000 websites. You go to the annual report, item 1. In annual report, item 1, they have a product list for you already. iPhone, my iPad, blah, blah, blah. So basically, once you read the textbook, you have the domain knowledge of finance and accounting. You don't have to crawl the 6,000 website one by one. You don't have to manually do it. You don't have to crawl it. You go to the right data to answer the right question. So you can see that what we do is, so instead of crawling the 6,000 website, you go to the annual report, you find item 1, and you get the information on the product. And then the question 2 is, so let's suppose say the annual report for 2024 have a 100 product description. The annual report of 2023, they have a 90 product description. How do you know which are the new product? So maybe, okay, that hypothetically, among the 90 products, 10 products retired. So basically, if 10 products retired from 2023, that means there are 30 products, 30 new products in 2024. Okay, let me do the math one more time. If there's a 20 products retired from 90 products in 2023, that means in 2024, there will be 30 new products. Okay, how do you identify which are the 30 new products? So now we introduce Google BERT for students. Using Google BERT, what you do is you convert each product into a vector. So that means for the 2024, you have 100 vectors. For the 2023, you have 90 vectors, right? And you get the cosine of the vectors, so you can identify which product is new product, which product is a retired product. So this is what the textbook and the course will do. So basically, we are doing the efficient way. You go to the right data. You learn about Google BERT. You learn about how to convert the text to the vector, and you know how to identify new product, identify retired product. And so you guys can check out the textbook. You guys can check out our videos. And we also teach you guys how to fine-tune a model. Like for large language model, you need to do prompt engineering or fine-tune a model. So the textbook, and we cover a lot, and other videos cover that. So you check my website. I give you the code. I give you the procedure. So you follow the book. You can understand the data, understand the large language model. You can get your job done. So basically, so I also cover some like DeepSeek stuff. So you can either use the textbook for a new course to teach. You can teach a new course with textbook. If you teach a traditional or like a corporate finance investment, you can use 1 or 2 chapters. So basically, you can either use this textbook for new course or 1 or 2 traditional chapters, or you can use it for research.